Hello, Canada. It's the Western semifinal. Greenland, Regina meets Iceland. Today, temperatures plummet. Wind chill at minus 20 degrees. BC Lions, Saskatchewan Roughriders, two 11-7s will collide. Winner to meet Calgary next week.
Mike Benavides in his second season as the BC Lions head coach. Coming in here to Saskatchewan, he's got one of his stars back. Travis Lulay makes his first start since September 15th. He has not faced the Saskatchewan Roughriders yet this season. Those Riders, of course, led by number one Corey Sheets, the Canadian Football League's second leading rusher, averages over 100 yards a game overall, 228 yards and 3 touchdowns in 2 games against the BC Lions. For his head coach, Corey Chamberlain, also a second-year man, looking to guide his team to a Grey Cup berth here at home.
He's got his heated boots on. There is former Rough Rider Paul McCallum. He's going to kick this off in the Madhouse at Mosaic, the Ice House today. Cold conditions. BC Lions won the coin toss. They defer to the second half. The Rough Riders will have the wind in the first quarter. They have been notorious slow starters all season long, but good finishers. We are ready to go. Here we go. It is the Western semifinal in Regina. Dribble kick, and the Rough Riders struggle to pick it up. Tristan Jackson has it at the 32-yard line, and Darian Durant will bring out his offense here. Saskatchewan Roughriders get the ball first. Our starters to watch are brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, where custom advice comes a standard.
And Darian Durant, 4 touchdown passes, 1 interception against the BC Lions this season, 2 wins, 1 loss for his Riders. We mentioned Corey Sheets, 114 yards a game on the ground. Weston Dressler has a touchdown in every game against BC during the regular season.
No Chris Getzlaff out of the lineup. That is a key loss. Sheets to the ground right away. Anton McKenzie, who is filling in for Solomon Elamimian, who is not in the lineup for the BC Lions, and that is also a big replacement. No Elamimian next to Adam Bighill today.
Saskatchewan Roughriders looking to get off to a great start. Only 1 opening drive touchdown on the season. That came in week 1 against the Edmonton Eskimos.
2nd and 4 from the 38-yard line. Shotgun Durant. Ball was tipped there. And G. Roy Simon, the former BC Lion, makes the catch. G. Roy Simon could be a huge factor in this game. Again, no Chris Getzlaff, and you'd have to think that number 81 is going to be called on a lot.
Yeah, a guy who's had as much playoff success as any player in this ball game today. The former Lion facing his former team should have plenty of opportunity to step up.
Became the all-time receptions leader, all-time yardage leader this year. Little swing pass out of the backfield. Weston Dressler down the sideline. Out on the BC sideline, a couple of yards shy of a first down. Here are the starters to watch on BC's D.
You mentioned Adam Bighill, one of the elite defenders in the Canadian Football League. He's going to be huge today in the absence of Solomon Elamimian. Anton McKenzie in his spot. And of course, we know the storyline with that guy, Ryan Phillips and Darian Durant. Phillips, 9 career interceptions versus Durant, at least 1 each of the last 4 regular seasons prior to this one.
2nd and 3, crashing forward is Corey Sheets. And stacked up and still going. And with a convoy, finally has the first down. There was no whistle. That was a lot of effort, but that is what Corey Sheets can do.
Well, Corey Sheets and a tremendous offensive line. Includes big Brendan Labatt, the West Division nominee for the most outstanding offensive lineman this season. But here's what Corey Sheets means to this football team. 11-3, 146 yards a game when he's in the lineup. 71 rushing yards a game without him. The record suffers.
Durant now flushed, and then he goes down. Quickly, Kareem Smith was right there to stop Darian Durant for a loss of 2 or 3 yards here. The first sack of the ball game to the BC Lions.
But In this situation, there's an emphasis from both teams, a desire to set the tone at the line of scrimmage, send a physical message very early on.
Two of the best defenses in the land. Lions' #1 defense a year ago followed it up with another strong effort in 2013. Little play now. Sheets, high-stepping, Sheets, knocked out of bounds on the far side by J.R. LaRose. Just shy, it looks like, of that first down marker. 9-yard pickup. He's going to be a few yards shy, and the kick team's coming out.
There you see Adam Bighill. He's got his eyes on #1 Corey Sheets in that backfield. This is one of the key matchups in this ball game. Top linebacker versus a top running back. Bighill doesn't have leverage. Sheets able to run through that arm tackle with the lower body power.
Strong left leg of Ricky Schmidt, former NFLer. High snap. Looks like a bit of a drop kick here with some backspin. Steph Logan has it, and Logan inches forward to the 20-yard line. So Travis Lulay, first start since September after the injury to his throwing shoulder. Played a little bit last week. Getting ready for the postseason. Lulay and the Lions offense up next. Decibel level off the charts here at Mosaic. Travis Lulay, the Red Bomber, as his coach Mike Benavides calls him, is back at the helm. First series, first down. Lulay hangs in, takes a shot, going deep downfield for Manny Arsenault. And so right away, Travis Lulay's shoulder gets tested by the oncoming Terrius George.
George, number 93, middle man of those 5 on the line of scrimmage. You see John Chick, by the way, on the inside right beside him. With that loop, Terrius George comes free. They want to, of course, be physical with the Lions quarterback. Real early on, you saw Travis Lulay, no hesitation to try and test his secondary deep early on as well.
Talked about the wind and the cold, obvious factors, but the noise too. 4-man rush. Lulay trying to quiet the crowd, and he will not here. Far side looking for Courtney Taylor. Incomplete pass, and immediately Paul McCallum, a quick 2 and out for Lulay and the Lions.
Well, surprisingly aggressive start for the BC Lions under the circumstances. Coming out looking to throw the football. To anticipate, as I said early on, in this situation, you want to set the tone physically at the line of scrimmage, establish your run game, because that's what it's going to be one of the keys, Rod, to controlling the pressure of that Saskatchewan front.
Here's 43-year-old Paul McCallum. This kick will come into this breeze that comes from left to right on your screen. It's a wind that's getting stronger as the day goes on here. Here's a kick, a little bit of a line drive. Jock Sanders is there, and there is a no yards call, it looks like. Sanders is brought down at the 50-yard line. Andre Proulx is our referee today.
No yards. BC number 28, 15-yard penalty. First down.
With that, let's go down to the sideline, and joining us is Farhan Lalji. Farhan.
Geroy Simon already with the first down catch in this game, but one of the big reasons the Riders brought him here was his leadership. That was evident in a meeting early in the week when they looked at a possible Lions blitz and a pressure, and someone in the meeting says, oh, they'll never do that. Simon stopped and said, this is the playoffs. They will do things that you haven't seen all season, things that you had not expected, and at some point during this game, a player you don't expect to make a big play is going to need to step up and make one.
Bang on the quick hitter. Thank you, Farhan. Well, it is a big game. Big-time players make those big plays.
Well, it's guys that understand what it's all about at this time of year. Geroy Simon has been there, done that in the Canadian Football League, and taking it one step further, knows the mentality of the guys on the other side in this football game. Very valuable asset for the Roughriders to have in their lineup.
Certainties in life. Diapers, coffins, and Geroy Simon being in the playoffs. 14 straight years now for number 81. Most of them, of course, with the BC Lions. Here comes the rush again. Durant hanging in. Now the skate takes a heavy hit up near the 32-yard line from Lin J. Shell. Durant helped up by his O-lineman, and chirping a little bit with Corey Banks. 5-yard pickup.
Bring on Chris Milo in the field goal unit. Important for Darian Durant. Take off occasionally, keep that BC Lions defense honest.
Chris Milo, outstanding season kicking for the Roughriders. One point had a streak of 28 straight. Just 89% on the season. This from the 38, Milo puts it up, and this is off the upright. Chris Milo rings one off the post. And it's still scoreless here in the Western semifinal. Chris Milo's had an outstanding season, but we might have to start calling him the postman.
Only missed 6 field goals all year. 5 of those misses against the BC Lions. 2 of them during the regular season off the upright. And apparently for Chris Milo, bad things come in threes. Moments ago, there it was.
Travis Lule again. From the 25-yard line. This time they go to the ground and wrestled to the ground by Keith Sholigan as the Riders show their 5 stud defensive linemen that time.
Well, they've done it a couple times to start off this ball game. You saw John Chick moving around on the inside on the earlier hit. Keith Trope on the nose as Terry as George. 5 defensive linemen. John Chick is kind of roving around and picking a spot. The BC Lions are going to have to locate and identify him and ensure that they go big on big in terms of their blocking speed. O-linemen on D-line. Don't leave your running backs against those guys.
Throwing down this time, 2nd and 11. 4-man rush. Lula escapes the pocket and then tosses it off to Harris. Hit hard by Tyron Brackenridge. What a lick there, but it's a first down for the Lions. Harris absorbs the hit, picks up 13 on the dump and run.
Yeah, that's one where you take inventory of all your equipment after the collision. But nice adjustment on the fly, and this is what Travis Lule brings to the table. Little mobility to keep the play alive. There's the collision. Something came flying off the helmet of Andrew Harris. After that hit by the most fierce hitter in the Canadian Football League.
Tyron Brackenridge, linebacker last season, moved to free safety this year. Relishes it. Calls himself an assassin. Tight formation now. The hole opens up for Harris left side. Dwight Anderson trying to knock it out from Harris's grasp, but Dwight Anderson is only able to push him out of bounds.
On this BC Lions offense, as we mentioned, features Travis Lule, his first start in almost 2 months, hasn't faced the Riders this year. Nick Moore, much like Weston Dressler, a touchdown catch in every game between the 2 teams this season. Andrew Harris been very limited offensively, 111 yards, but over half of those came in the last meeting when Stephen Logan was also part of this offense.
Logan right there lines up in the pistol formation. Turned by Lule. Over to Nick Moore, and he's quickly met by a gang of 3 Roughriders, including Mike McCullough over there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Tyron Brackenridge was this team's top defensive player during the season, and he is nothing but a playmaker. 5 forced fumbles, 3 interceptions. Ricky Foley, a former Lion, 8 quarterback sacks with a 3-rider D-lineman with 8 on the season. Now it's all. 4 of his 16 sacks this season came against the BC Lions. Those came as a member of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
2nd down and 8. The Lion 52. Scoreless game. Lula stands in far side. Marco Iannuzzi makes the catch, but as you can see, well short of the first down. 4-yard pickup. It's going to be 3rd down. And 2 to go. Make that 3rd and 4, so McCallum will boot it away again. Jock Sanders will go back. And the temperature here. Negative teens with the wind chill, -20. As the sun starts to set. It's not going to get any warmer. There's 6 minutes to go here in the opening quarter of the Western semifinal. McCallum. Ball just dribbles out at the 32-yard line. 22-yard kick. Darian Durant brings his offense back on the field. Riders, Lions, 0-0 in Regina.
Hey, don't let me think. Oh.
Darian Durant, a lot of career bests for the Riders in 2013, including touchdowns thrown, 31. Interception percentage was down. Corey Sheets for a couple yards. Let's go back to that previous punt by Paul McCallum.
Yeah, and you've got to keep an eye on the left side of the protection. Left guard Kyle Jones, left tackle Seydou Haidara. Those guys are thinking coverage first and trying to get out of there in a hurry. The tackle Haidara barely gets a piece of his guy, Ricky Foley. He and Terrius George come in. I believe it was Foley who got his hands on that punt, affecting the trajectory, limiting it to a 22-yard kick. You got to understand which way your punter is stepping when you're in protection. If he's coming your way, you got to be firm.
2nd and 5, go the Riders. Durant's got time. Now heaves it from Taj Smith. Jump ball, and he's got it. Taj Smith caught the football. Wow. It looked for a moment like the Lions had an interception, and Smith stole it back. 53-yard pickup.
And Taj Smith steals this one from Josh Bell, who had his body square, turned to it, but a little bobble after Smith gets his hands on him. Pops the ball loose. Not just one huge play on the catch, but a huge play to affect Bell and take away that interception.
Right to the red zone. Go the Riders. Far side. Eron Riley, who's replacing Chris Getzlaff. He had even lost a couple of yards.
After that big play by Taj Smith, sets him up in pretty good scoring position. Bear in mind, both these teams have been very good in terms of that green zone offense, scoring either touchdowns or field goals every time they've been in there.
And that green zone, or red zone as it is called, is from the 20-yard line to the end zone. 2nd and 13, loss of 3 though. 3 receivers to the right. Durant looks over the top. Swarmed and drilled by Eric Taylor. Nose tackle comes in and swims away with a sack.
Well, we didn't necessarily see the flurry of sacks from the BC Lions that we've been accustomed to. Big Eric Taylor, the man on the nose here. Fought his way through the right guard, Chris Best, inside shoulder to make that play.
So Chris Milo, who earlier hit the right upright, got no points. 2nd attempt from the 40. This kick is not that close again to the upright, but through. Finally, some points on the board. Saskatchewan strikes first. John Chick, the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Right now, 5 teams remain in the hunt for the Grey Cup. Hamilton advances earlier today in overtime over the Montreal Alouettes. Will meet Toronto next week. By the end of this game, there will be 4. Winner of this game to meet the Calgary Stampeders in the Western Final at McMahon next week. 3-0 Riders. Lula, one way then the other. Can't find a man now. Fires. Harris Jackson has the reception over the midfield stripes. Harris Jackson is a player who has not been used very much in the offense for the BC Lions. He's used here to effectiveness. Let's go to the sideline once again. Here's Farhan.
Guys, for communications purposes, the Lions in the last couple of drives have actually been getting into two smaller huddles. Jacques Chapdelaine doesn't use the microphone to communicate to Travis Lulay. He gets the call in early, so he'll get the receivers and backs together. Then after that, he'll go to the line. Also, they can communicate before they get to the line of scrimmage.
Sweep on the inside. Sean Gore's first touch has a pickup of 5 yards. Furthest penetration so far for the BC Lions into Saskatchewan side of the field under 2 minutes in this first quarter.
Getting those receivers involved in the play calling is a significant part of the BC Lions game plan. Attacking every gap across the field. Lulay, Logan, Harris, all part of that. The idea is spread this defense out a little bit and maybe open things up as time goes on for Andrew Harris between the tackles.
Andrew Harris has words into the ear hole of Travis Lulay. To the side, Lulay in shotgun there. 5 receivers set. Hands it off to Harris. The penalty flag flies. Bounces outside. Kicks it outside now. And Andrew Harris rumbles down the sideline. Tyrone Brackenridge knocked him out of bounds. But let's see what this flag is about. A 12-yard pickup for the Winnipeg native, Andrew Harris.
Offside. Saskatchewan number 37. Penalties decline. Result of the play is first down.
Rod Williams penalized Roughrider.
A couple broken tackles here. Craig Butler shot through that line. Had the first shot at Harris. Bounces outside where he gets a chance to use that speed. Turned into a first down run for the Lions.
Stephon Logan back in the backfield now. Two-headed monster again. Logan and Harris for the Lions. Lulay throws though. Gore on a seam and is brought down by Terrell Mays at the 25-yard line for an 11-yard pickup and moving the chains again. Lions marching the football.
Quick hitch to Sean Gore, and this is where you rely on a little help from your friends. In this case, Emmanuel Arsenault wants Tristan Jackson. He's bearing down. Emmanuel Arsenault coming right across your screen. Gets that cut block to take Tristan Jackson out of the play and create that running lane for Sean Gore.
Could be the final play of this opening quarter. Then the Lions will have the wind in the second frame. Lulay counts it down. Now looking outside and goes to the far sideline again for Nick Moore. Moore, third leading receiver in the Canadian Football League, third leading receiver in the second half of the season as the clock hits the 0 mark here after 1 quarter. An 11-yard gain. The BC Lions, a good drive here trying to answer that 3-0 Saskatchewan lead. 1 quarter down here in the Western semifinal. 2 teams that came into this Western semifinal with identical 11-7 records. 2 teams very evenly matched. Take a look at those numbers.
Yeah, the stat sheet pretty even to this point. Obviously a close ball game through the first quarter. The BC Lions moving the football well. 4 first downs on their current drive. Now, that's going to be important, not just in terms of developing their own offensive momentum, controlling the time of possession, and so on. On a day like this, when you're an offensive player like Darian Durant, Corey Sheets, Weston Dressler, you want to be on the field moving. You don't want to be on the sidelines freezing. You hate when the opposing offense puts together a good drive.
So the Lions now with a good drive. They also very good inside that red zone. So here they go. 1st and 10. From the 14-yard line. Lulay now with a handoff to Logan. Logan running, end zone bound! Touchdown! Stephen Logan finds the end zone. A 14-yard scoot. And a penalty flag flies after the touchdown.
Well, the extracurriculars, the cause for the flag, but how about the speed of Stephen Logan? Nice job by that offensive line, getting outside shoulders, gaining that leverage to free up the edge for the speedy.
Objectionable conduct. BC number 17. A 10-yard penalty will be applied on the kickoff.
Nick Moore penalized for objectionable conduct. Steph Logan, of course, with the BC Lions back in 08. Then went south to the NFL for 4 seasons. The Detroit Lions now back with the BC Lions. The first major score goes to the Lions. First play of the second quarter. Lions lead 7-3. Steph Logan's return to the Canadian Football League could not have come at a better time for the BC Lions and even Andrew Harris.
Yeah, a team that needed to inject a little bit of life into their running game. Andrew Harris could be jealous with the arrival of Steph Logan, but
305. Hey,
quite to
Mama
the
and Daddy.
contrary, he has benefited from having a little bit of help back there.
305. Dade County.
Again, 3 games with Logan in the regular season. As McCallum boots this away. Again with the win, Jock Sanders. Zigs and zags, finds a hole. Sanders now to the beat, and Paul McCallum lays his shoulder into him. And may have just saved a touchdown as Sanders plows for more. A 56-yard kickoff return for Jock Sanders and the Riders.
Up-and-down season for Jock Sanders, but a big playoff, and that can be all forgotten. Some fumble woes, but right from the start, Josh Bell, the first man downfield, and Jock Sanders oversells him that he's going wide side. Bell overruns it. Sanders makes a miss and turns it up.
Now Corey Sheets. And barging up the middle, half the first down yardage. And Corey Sheets is been a little quiet early in this ballgame, but that is kind of the MO of the Roughriders. In fact, that is their MO as a team. Quiet early in the game, first quarters, and this is the quarter where the Green Riders seem to light it up.
Yeah, led the Canadian Football League in second quarter points with 203 over the course of their 18 regular season games. Jock Sanders puts him in pretty good position to continue that trend here in the postseason.
Pick up the 4, 2nd and 6. Durant, 5-man rush here. Will fire over the middle, and again, Josh Bell had an opportunity at another pick. Incomplete pass. And that is the first blemish for Darian Durant, his first incompletion of the game so far.
Well, Durant's got his eyes across that middle, but watch Corey Sheets coming out of the backfield and heading to that flat. He's wide open. Nobody's going out there with him. But Durant thinks he's got a shot at Dressler across the middle. That's where his read took him, but if he continued through his progression, he may be kicking a convert instead of field goal right now.
Straight through this time to Milo, now 2-3. And it's a 1-point game. CFL playoffs on TSN, the Western semifinal continues. Ricky Schmidt will kick this off. Again, into that very stiff breeze. Flutters. And Logan tripped up over that 25-yard line. Slipped there, but the guy who scored the touchdown on the return. Travis Lulay out for another series here, nursing a 1-point lead.
Travis Lulay off to a good start. We've seen him throw a few footballs out to that wide sideline, demonstrating that throwing shoulder injured back in mid-September is feeling pretty good.
Travis told us yesterday feels really good this week, had an excellent week of practice. They stimulated a lot of the audio in BC, but also simulated the fact that it would be cold. These very cold footballs, froze their footballs during practice. Lula over the top. Man open is Arsenault, and Emmanuel Arsenault again punished by Tyrone Brackenridge. But But a big gain here for the BC Lions. 24-yard pickup.
You can see Travis Lulay redirect his eyes, initially looking to the flat, where he's got Stephen Logan out to his right. Defender goes with Logan. That opens up Arsenault down the seam. Lulay with a little touch to drop it in there. Arsenault kind of quiet in the second half after getting off to a great start. Came a little bit more of the Nick Moore show. The Lions aerial attack after midseason.
Keep your head up when you're catching the football. Number 41 is out there. Inside handoff to Harris. Dwight Anderson brings him down. We talked about how the Lions prepared for this very cold day. This is what they did this week in BC.
Yeah, you do everything you can to try and simulate conditions for a playoff game. You don't want to be surprised or caught off guard. Putting the balls in the trainer's freezer, that ice chest, get them as cold as they can, with the understanding being the ball feels different when it's frozen. As a receiver, a quarterback, anybody who handles the ball, it's going to be harder coming in, a little bit harder to get a grip.
That's why protection of the football is paramount today. Cannot turn it over. This audio blitz continues by the Rider fans. Lulay decides to go here, and he is tripped up just past Saskatchewan's 50-yard line. Greg Butler taking aim at him. 8-yard run for Travis Lulay.
Well, this is one of the things that I feel is most important about what Travis Lulay brings back to this BC Lions offense, is his ability to run the football. Thomas DeMarco, a young quarterback. DeMarco wasn't necessarily a guy that was going to threaten teams on the perimeter or scramble a lot. More of a pocket guy. Travis Lulay offers this threat, which again, very important against the front like the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Lulay's been impressive so far. 7 of 9 for 86 in the air. He's also sprinted out. This time dumps it off to Andy Arsenault again. On first down, picks up a couple. Like McCullough making the tackle, the longest serving Saskatchewan Roughrider. Member of that Grey Cup championship winning team back in 2007. To go before halftime.
McCullough, the only defensive player remaining from all of the Riders' Grey Cup appearances. John Chick, of course, was here and left for a few years.
Lions eating up a lot of the clock. 3.5 on this drive, threading the needle. And if there was any question about the arm strength of Travis Lulay, that was answered right there. Courtney Taylor makes the catch in triple coverage.
Yeah, you think about a pitcher in baseball, you worry about losing a little velocity off the fastball after any kind of shoulder or elbow injury. Travis Lulay shows right there in a very narrow window, but he can still put a little bit of heat on that ball.
Travis Lulay, who just learned yesterday before the BC Lions charter was about to take off that he would be the starter today. 3 first downs in this drive. Look at this formation. Quads in the backfield. Now they go in motion. And the handoff is to Logan again. Steph Logan darts near the 30-yard line. Tristan Jackson, the tackle. Let's go back down to that chilly sideline. Here's Farhan.
Guys, you saw the heavy I formation for the BC Lions. Harris, Logan on the field at the same time with 2 to 3 receivers in behind them. They're going to burst from that formation, and they want to try to get Saskatchewan's defense spread out sideline to sideline, especially with who keys Logan and who keys Harris, and get a few mismatches. So expect to see that more in this drive and throughout this game.
Thank you, Farhan. A quadruple I formation. Travis Lulay has spread the wealth here, Dwayne, as well. He's used 7 different receivers. 8 minutes to go before halftime. Lions by 1. Here comes the rush. There goes the football, and making the catch inside the red zone once again is Courtney Taylor.
Lulay again throwing a dart across the middle to Taylor. Demonstrating once again if the Saskatchewan Roughriders wanted to put him in position to make those tough throws, to determine if he could Taylor motions from the number 3 receiver into number 2 before coming across the middle to make that catch.
7th play of this drive. A handoff to Harris. Pounds the ground close to the 5-yard line, and this could actually give them a fresh set of downs. They could go 1st and goal here depending on the spot. He might be a yard shy.
Again, the Riders with a chance to make that tackle at her behind the line of scrimmage, but Andrew Harris fights through.
Thomas DeMarco. Looks like he's coming in. Travis Lulay get a quick reprieve, warm up on the sidelines. DeMarco now short yardage quarterback. DeMarco did start in place of Travis Lulay when he was injured. Brought the Lions a couple wins. Their backup, of course, is Buck Pierce. DeMarco behind center now, and he will go forward, lunging. We'll have to see where the spot is. It looks like the Lions will go 1st and goal now. It is a 1st down.
Thomas DeMarco picking that up. One of his wins, of course, in his first CFL start right here.
BC Lions dominant offensively. 1st downs, 12. Again, they've been chewing up this clock.
That play on this drive, it started at their own 29-yard line.
Lulay returns. Harris in the backfield. Nick Moore nearsighted. Here's Green. He's looking more. Lulay now decides to go himself straight arm, and he's pounded to the turf by Alex Hall. And Lulay gets up. And now, just adjusting his socks. Travis Lulay told us yesterday, last week in that final regular season game, really a warm-up for the postseason. When he went into the end zone, he said, you know what, I'm back, when he was finally able to run the football.
Yeah, he said that the biggest part about it was he didn't think about it. He just reacted. He wasn't worrying about the shoulder or thinking, maybe I shouldn't run. And the fact that it wasn't right there in the front of his mind, he took that as a good sign.
2nd and goal. Steph Logan is in the backfield. Right behind Lulay. He will get it, and he will score his 2nd touchdown of the game. Again, the BC Lions.
One more time.
Impressive ball control drives result in Steph Logan with another touchdown.
But everybody, you see that hard flow to the left side of your screen. Everybody's anticipating when Logan gets the football, because he's a smaller speed guy, that he's going to try and break contain. Cutback lane came wide open. Logan was all over.
An 11-play, 81-yard drive for the Lions. Well, both teams have been into the red zone, and both teams have scored points. The difference is the Lions have 2 touchdowns, and the Roughriders have 2 field goals. Steph Logan, who had 1 touchdown in 3 games when he came back with the BC Lions from the NFL, has now 2 touchdowns in this playoff game.
Well, the defense sees number 10 in the backfield, and you're going to see the flow as soon as he starts going right. Everyone flows hard right. Even see this free safety, Tyron Brackenridge in the secondary. He's flowing to try and get to contain and support out there. Steph Logan recognizes that and just cuts it back up the middle.
Warming those gloves. Right now, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, their issue, you can look at all the numbers you want. The key right now is time of possession. That last drive took up 8 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. The BC Lions. Once again, Jock Sanders, nice return up to the 45-yard line. Back down to Farhan.
The guy underneath all of this is Chris Getzlaff. Chris, just want to ask you about your status right now with the knee.
It's improving day to day. I mean, unfortunately, I wasn't able to go this week. It's kind of a last-minute thing, but you know, I'm looking forward to the boys pulling it out today and playing next week.
Yeah, I mean, will you play in the Western Final?
Yeah, I can't see me not playing in the Western Final.
Now, as far as the offense goes, there hasn't been a lot of traction with the passing game. What do you think they need to do a little more of here?
I think we just got to execute a little bit. I mean, overall as a team, we just got to tighten up and make some plays out there, and that'll get the field position switching.
Stay warm, Chris.
Thanks.
Well, there is a play, and there's a scrum. Taj Smith, again, has been the most active receiver so far. You know, lost in maybe all of that is the fact that Darian Durant has been on the sideline.
Well, this is what I was saying about the time of possession and the first downs for BC after the first quarter. As an offensive player, believe me, these are the games where you want to be on the field. The absolute worst place to be is on the sidelines trying to stay warm. If you're moving and in the flow of the game, you're not thinking about it. You're moving around. It's easy to stay warm.
Lions load up the box now. Durant to pass and chucks it to the sideline. And there is a penalty flag that flew as Darian Durant got rid of that football.
Looks like this one could be holding based on the position of the flag.
Holding. Saskatchewan, number 68. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Center Dominic Picard. First and 20 now. Again, Durant now dumps it off to Corey Sheets, looking for some running room. He's got it. Sheets high stepping now. 40, 30. Foot race with Corey Banks. Corey Sheets is knocked out of bounds. And just like that, Corey Sheets arrives in the Western semifinals.
One way or another, we got to find a way to get the ball into the hands of your most dangerous offensive weapon. It hasn't been the run game for the Saskatchewan Roughriders early with Corey Sheets, but he comes up with a huge play right here via the pass.
Corey Sheets was not getting it done on the handoffs. This time, the little dump pass. Second leading rusher in the CFL takes it close to the house. 3-minute warning before halftime.
Corey Sheets gets credit for the yardage, but credit his offensive line. Keep an eye on the right tackle, number 65, Ben Heenan, bottom right corner of your screen. He gets the first block right here. He's going to take his man to the outside. Sheets reads it, turns it up inside. Dan Clark's got a nice kick-out block right there. There's a little box out by the center. Bob Picard to create the run line.
First and goal. Riders look to answer, and they do! Weston Dressler.
4 games against the BC Lions for Weston Dressler in 2013. Dressler's going to head to that corner route he's already got, as you can see. Great outside leverage on the free safety, J.R. LaRose, the man trying to get to him. Big issue in coverage there. Turns a defensive alignment.
So Weston Dressler, with 2:41 to go before halftime, scores the touchdown with a big assist from Corey Sheets on that huge gallop. So far, Darian Durant has taken his team into the red zone. A couple of field goals and finally a major.
Well, just by initial alignment, J.R. LaRose is in trouble as Weston Dressler's got him outflanked. Makes that break maybe a little bit early because he recognizes I'm going to get to the outside because I've already got him beat. Darian Durant puts it on the money for the major. There you go. View from the bleachers. This is what you're getting from the temporary stands here at Mosaic.
Those stands, of course, will be full in a couple of weeks. And this Saskatchewan Roughrider team, mission 2K14, like Toronto last year, like BC the year before, this team constructed not to play in a playoff game, to play in the Grey Cup game.
Absolutely, a lot of veterans added to what was a very young team a year ago.
So once again, now a 1-point game. The crowd rocking it again. Steph Logan, couple of blocks, shakes one, and Craig Butler, the Western product, is right there. Craig Butler is all over the football field. Special teams unit for the two Canadian linebackers that line up for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. His name is called a lot in every game.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the important decisions for this team defensively this season. We talked a lot about Brackenridge moving from the Sam linebacker to the free safety spot. That was big, but getting Craig Butler on the field every down, very significant. This guy's a playmaker.
13th man rises up again here. Delayed draw. Andrew Harris hangs onto the football and carries the rock up near the midfield stripe. A 17-yard run for Andrew Harris.
Nice block here from the big right tackle, perennial all-star Javon Olafioye. He's working against Alex Hall, a great pass rusher. He knows he's going to come up the field with speed, so he's just going to use his momentum and drive him right by to the point of attack and move up to second level and take on another defender.
Andrew Harris, most outstanding Canadian in the Grey Cup 2 years ago, really his coming out party for the BC Lions. Blue Lions time, launches for Arsenault. One-on-one coverage blanketed downfield by Ron Williams. Ron Williams, the former Edmonton Eskimo, draws into this game, had only one start with the Roughriders when he was acquired, then broke his arm in practice, now inserted back into the lineup.
Yeah, you see that right arm still heavily protected on Ron Williams. Good, solid veteran on the outside, playing that wide side. Most frequently in tandem with Dwight Anderson.
2 minutes before the half. 2nd and 10. 5-receiver set. Lule scrambles, tucks it, takes it, and will get out of bounds. Had to dodge Carlos Thomas and Craig Butler on the sideline. Very close to a first down for Travis Lule. Never shy to run the football.
No, we talked to Travis Lule a little bit yesterday about that difference. As every veteran player will tell you, the difference between regular season and postseason. Yeah, he's banged up, he's coming back from an injury. During the regular season, sometimes it's always about trying to preserve yourself for the next game or to get as many games in as you possibly can. Right now, there's no next week unless you create it next week. You worry about that when you get to it. Travis Lule will do whatever he can to get his team another week of football.
1st and 10. From the 46. Harris. Decoy that time, and he threw it to Nick Moore. A good bit of deception from Travis Lule as he went to hand off to Andrew Harris, and then threw it to the sideline for Moore. Another first down inside the 30-yard line.
You have to respect Travis Lule in the play action situation because he is a guy off that run fake to Harris who can break contain on the outside. We've seen him already productive in the run game himself today. Opens things up inside, but Reigns will do a threat if he gets outside.
Slings it out to the far sideline. And again for Paris Jackson, a guy who at one time was a West Division All-Star. 1,000 yards a season, really a forgotten soul offensively the last couple of years, but Paris Jackson is maybe one of the ultimate team players. Sucked it up, took it, and became a special teams player, now inserted back in this offense.
Surpassed on the Lions depth chart as he had been nagged by some injuries a little bit. Some of the younger guys, Marco Iannuzzi, Sean Gore, moved up and took that playing time, but Paris Jackson, good throw, always ready to go when his number's called.
2nd down and 5. Lule changes the play there. Worked it up the left center. Over the top he goes, and it's Paris Jackson again, but short by 2 yards on that pass. Terrell Mays making the tackle. So it'll be 3rd down. And that will bring out the veteran Paul McCallum.
Well, the play slow to develop here. As Paris Jackson had to find his way through traffic a little bit in order for his quarterback to spot him.
How about this bit of karma, or maybe delicious irony? Paul McCallum, 34 straight field goals in the playoffs. The last one he missed with Saskatchewan in BC in overtime in 2004. His first attempt here. Kick is up and make it 35 straight field goals in the playoffs. Back to 2004, and that miss changed the fortunes of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, but also Paul McCallum, who soon left Saskatchewan for BC.
Yeah, the miss that gave the BC Lions an opportunity to win that game. Lions went on to reach the Grey Cup against the Toronto Argonauts. Paul McCallum labeled as something of a scapegoat by Rider Nation as a result.
His house was vandalized here. He soon left and then forged an all-star future Hall of Fame career. Paul McCallum did. Darian Durant hit screen over to Weston Dressler. Screen over to Ryan Phillips. Gives him to the turf. Just over a minute to go.
We've seen Corey Sheets involved in different ways. There you see the hitch screen. Darian Durant just looking to get the ball into the hands of Weston Dressler a little bit. He's another one of those guys who can take a catch close to the line of scrimmage and turn it into something much, much bigger.
His team's met 3 times in the regular season. Saskatchewan won 2 of 3. That's why they got home field advantage for this playoff game. Identical 11 and 7 rounds. Making the catch is Eron Riley. Looked like he may have pulled a hamstring or something there as he hobbles back to the huddle. He moves the sticks. Riley again in for the injured Chris Getzlaff.
Yeah, receiving course a little thin. Riley knows he's got to suck it up here. But a delayed release. He blocked his man at the line of scrimmage and then slipped out into the flat. Fingertip catch there. Smart play to get out of bounds. Stop that clock.
Riley stays in, hobbling a little. Riders trying to put it into field goal position, but they'll have to put it close, remember, against the wind. Durant now has to scramble and brought down from behind by Chris Wilson. Another ex-NFLer and another ex-BC Lion who comes back to the Lions after a stint in the National Football League.
Yeah, you look at guys like Chris Wilson and Stephen Logan, who wanted to come back to BC after spending some time in the National Football League. Suggests that they had pretty good experience in their first stint in orange and black.
Wilson spent 5 seasons with the Washington Redskins, won a Grey Cup with BC back in 2006. 2nd and 11. Just a 3-man rush this time. Durant steps off, fires, and into traffic. Todd Smith with a penalty flag flying. A BC Lion team that does not get penalized very much. In fact, the most disciplined team in the Canadian Football League. Andre Prue to make the call. You can tell right there that it's going against Mike Benavidez' team.
Well, Mike Benavidez is pretty
Pass
animated.
interference. BC number 24. Ball will be placed where the foul occurred. Automatic first down.
I think if Mike Benavidez had the end zone view of this, he might recognize that J.R. LaRose is coming through the receiver, Taj Smith, to make that play. And this look, here's that end zone look that shows it best, as you see. Right through the back of the receiver to get there.
Durant for Taj Smith. He made the catch. What a catch. My, oh my. Taj Smith halftime.
Well, fighting off defenders to make plays there. Dante Marsh right on him. Smith hand fighting with the veteran defender right to the end until he just gets those hands free to make the catch in one of his biggest games of the regular season. A 10-catch, 104-yard effort against these Lions in September.
Already has 107. Now the clock down to 9. Durant looking, decides to dance and slide. And another penalty flag after Darian Durant was the victim of a late hit. And so this will take it down to the goal line with 2 seconds to go before halftime.
Major foul. Unnecessary roughness. BC number 44. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Adam Bighill.
And I'll accept that if you're going to be consistent and call everything when the quarterback slides. But this is one where I'm not sure what Adam Bighill's supposed to do defending his own goal line. You're not going to back off. You're not going to lay off. You've got to, at some point, commit to the hit.
So half the distance down to the 2.5-yard line. And with just 2 seconds to go, the Riders will not go for it. They will bring out Milo to make it a 1-point game at the half. Sharp angle chip shot here for Chris Milo. And he buries it. What a first half of football. Western semifinal living up to the hype. Both quarterbacks putting on a show. Both defenses rising up. 17-16 BC. Time for GMC Live at the half. Here's Dave Randorf and Paul Lappo. Playoff football on the Tundra. Western semifinal, 1-point game heading to the second half. Here's Saskatchewan Roughriders head coach Corey Chamberlain with Farhan.
Corey, you got the one big play from Corey Sheets on that screen. How do you get him more success in the run game?
Well, you know, it's playoff football. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be pretty hard for any team to get those big plays. So we just got to keep playing hard, and eventually one of those will burst.
The Lions' perspective, they've really had a time of possession edge, but how encouraged are you that it's still only a 1-point game?
Well, that's the good thing about it. Like I said, they've come with some new things, and they've run around and getting used to what it is. So this second half, it'll be a different brand of football.
Thanks, Corey.
All right, thank you.
Corey Chamberlain and Mike Benavides, still both coaches looking for their first playoff win. Second-year coaches, both losing in the postseason a year ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Experience, I believe, has served both of these sophomore head coaches very, very well. They've come into this game with their team clearly well prepared, well coached. We've seen some pretty effectively executed game plans despite the weather conditions in the first half.
Again, the weather conditions, the temperature continues to plummet, but the wind is subsiding somewhat. The BC Lions, again, won the coin toss, deferred in the second half, will have the breeze with them in the third quarter.
Yeah, an interesting decision breaking from the traditional expectation, but maybe anticipating that it may become less of a factor as the game goes on, but maybe a little bit nervous as you hinted, we talked at halftime, Rod, that if this game comes down to a last-second kick, you'd sure like to have that wind behind.
As you know, that wind also swirls here at Lausanne. It can pick up at any time. Second half underway. Stefan Logan, who was the go-to guy in the red zone for the BC Lions in the first half. 2 major scores. Travis Lule started off slowly, as the guys in the studio said, and 0 for 2, and then went 13 for 14.
But you got a little bit of a sense that those first 2 were kind of throwaways to say to the Saskatchewan defense, yeah, just back up a little bit, fellas, because the arm's feeling just fine. Andrew Harris, 66 yards of offense is more than he had in any of the 3 matchups between these 2 teams during the regular season.
And again, having Logan in the mix has changed it up for Andrew Harris. Scrimmage for the Lions. Play action and well played again. Good bit of deception as Andrew Harris takes the handoff on the right side. Got to think that if Travis Lule wasn't a quarterback, he'd make a pretty good point guard in basketball.
A little dish misdirection on the play action. You see the BC Lions here breaking the huddle. Nick Moore finds a little something and realizes his buddy Sean Gore doesn't want to be without that hand warmer. Tosses it out to his fellow receiver just before that play.
Again, you can see the communication really with hand signals in this dim. 2nd and 3, up the middle. Again, Andrew Harris. Tyrone Brackenridge makes the tackle right on the midfield stripe.
Well, you heard Chris Schultz talk about it at halftime. This is probably as well as you've seen this BC Lions offensive line play at any point this season. They create an absolute gash here for Andrew Harris. Javon Olafioye gets up to second level, and there's that run lane to the inside. Fortunately, the Riders have the sure tackling Tyrone Brackenridge on the back end to avoid a much bigger gain there from Harris.
Harris is the leading rusher in the game. 75 yards on the ground. Logan at this time. Steph Logan, again, they call it the two-headed monster. Two very different backs in terms of stature, size, and also in style. But this seems to be really working for the BC Lions.
Yeah, absolutely. And it becomes a different personnel package, a different set of plays sometimes that you have to prepare for. Defensively, Stephen Logan offers a different threat planted in the minds of defensive coordinators.
One guy's getting warm all the time, too. Gets warm, comes in. Harris back in now. 2nd and 5. The Roughrider 50. Again, this time Lule on the boot. Travis Lule keeping it on the ground. Not afraid to take off with it. Brings it close to the 35-yard line, and another fresh set of downs for the BC Lions.
Well, this is credit goes to the success that Andrew Harris and Stephen Logan have had on the inside. Harris in the backfield, right beside Lule. They're keying on him. They've had some success up the middle. You see Alex Hall off the right end, crashes down hard inside. There goes Travis Lule around the end for a first down.
Brilliant game calling right now from John Chapdelaine, offensive coordinator for the BC Lions. No two plays have been similar back-to-back. Lula again to the air in tight coverage. Manny Arsenault with another first down.
And we talked about the things the BC Lions did, concentrating. You see Arsenault, the single receiver out there against Tristan Jackson. Jackson giving him some space, respecting the speed. Arsenault pushes deep. He's on that outside comeback. Now the important thing, sometimes the tendency with cold hands, cold footballs, is to want to catch it against your equipment. But you saw Arsenault catch it in his hands. You credit the drills they did during the week with the cold balls and still concentrating on those things to avoid having balls bouncing off your pads and bouncing away.
Tighter formation this time. Pass to Logan, left side. Step Logan now, 10-yard line to the end zone, and he fumbled the football. There's still no signal at the goal line.
Initial look, he appeared to be across the plane before the ball came loose. We'll wait for the official call here.
Looked like he had broken the plane. Again, just the nose of the football has to penetrate the line, extended upwards.
Yes, snap! Hell yeah, baby!
And it is, with Paul McCallum coming out, a touchdown. We didn't see the signal from the official. And again, all scoring plays are reviewed. Paris Jackson recovers in the end zone.
Yeah, and also,
And with McCallum out there for the point after, it appears this is indeed another touchdown. Make it the hat trick for Steph Logan.
and I mean, he appears to be down regardless when the ball pops
Play
out.
is under review by the command center. The play's under review.
You know, you talk about the Saskatchewan Roughriders and all the players that brought an experience this year. How about the players the BC Lions, Dwayne, have gotten this year back from the National Football League? From Chris Wilson to Manny Arsenault to Steph Logan.
Yeah, and all guys coming back who are familiar with the environment, familiar with the system, familiar with a coaching staff that's had a lot of stability over the years. And the team knows exactly what they're getting in these players as well. They know they're going to fit in. Now that most recent look, it looked like the ball was actually out before he was down. Tough to say if he had broken the plane, but if it's ruled immediate recovery, then it would become irrelevant, as you mentioned, Rod, on the recovery by Paris Jackson.
The only real dispute would be who got the touchdown, whether it's Steph Logan and the hat trick or Paris Jackson, Johnny on the spot.
So the ball is coming out. Tristan Jackson gets a hand on it and pops it. See, it's out before he's down. Definitely out before he's down. And I don't think it had broken the plane yet. So again, this goes back to a ruling a couple weeks ago having to do with whether that recovery is considered immediate or not by Paris Jackson.
Again, the command center, all scoring plays reviewed, taking a look at it, waiting for the official determination. Cannot say enough right now about the BC Lions and what they've been able to do on drives in this game, owning the stadium clock here in times of possession. Big hit by Tristan Jackson there.
Gets that hand right on the football. He's pulling back with that right arm. Pops it out. The ball is clearly out before Logan's down. We're on a bit of an angle, so it's tough to say if he was across the plane. I don't believe he was. But I would anticipate that the touchdown would go to Paris Jackson here.
Yeah, the heartbreaking thing for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, a big hit by Jackson. And they're right there and able to scoop it up. It would have been the first turnover of this game. Last time they met there were 8 turnovers by the BC Lions. No turnovers yet.
Upon review, the ball carrier did fumble the football prior to reaching the goal line. The ball was not immediately recovered by BC, therefore it will be BC's ball, first down at the 1-yard line. BC's ball at the 1, first down.
Exactly as you mentioned, Dwayne. So the Lions cannot punch it in, but they will go first and goal. It's up to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. See if they can pull off the goal line stand. If they can. How big was that hit by Tristan Jackson? Jarring the ball loose. Of course, the Lions could make it elementary here by plunging the 1 yard.
Roughriders are a player short, it appears.
DeMarco. Roughriders will take that penalty.
Yeah, that's a good heads-up play by the veteran Mike McCullough. It's not going to affect them in terms of the spot of the football. McCullough was the first guy in the huddle who notices and recognizes that he's screaming to the sidelines. You'll see him counting. He knows right away that they're missing a guy, and he's calling for the sidelines. But then he kind of says, forget it, we'll play, and he knows exactly what to do to sort out the situation. So he's the guy who jumps offside. Gives him a chance to get a man in there.
Saskatchewan number 45. The ball will remain on the 1-yard line. Still first down.
There is their defensive coordinator behind glass, Richie Hall. Can't say enough about that guy, Mike McCullough. What a great community guy. Excellent feature in our pregame about Mike McCullough and his tenure here and the family man that he is. Now a leader on defense. Can the Riders hold from the goal line? Thomas DeMarco behind center. He's going left side. He'll walk in. So indeed, moot point. The Lions get 6 points.
The Lions bring 3 backs into the ball game, 2 big fullbacks, Lumbala and Kronk. They made it clear, one way or another, DeMarco is going to be the ball carriers. They motioned all the backs up early. But the element of surprise being the fact that he keeps and goes around the edge, and they've got him outnumbered completely. 4-2 on that call.
Third string quarterback out of Old Dominion puts it in. BC Lions now extend their lead. 3 times they have been in the red zone here at Mosaic in the Western semifinal, and 3 times they have found the end zone. 24-16 Lions.
No, you just.
Thomas DeMarco along what would have been the inevitable, it seemed. Goes left side, scampers in after that great run by Steph Logan.
Yeah, and there you see Logan again. We've talked about his speed. Watch Craig Butler and Ben Archibald on the outside. Big number 65, the left tackle. Now Butler's turned. He's running for the sidelines. That helps out his offensive lineman because he's respecting the speed of Stephen Logan. He's got contained. He knows he's got to get on his horse and get out there. Logan, by pressing the point of attack first to the outside, helps his offensive lineman position his block. Sometimes it's the big guy helping the little guy. That time it's the little guy helping the big guy to help the little guy.
We got it. John Sanders. 8-point BC lead. And can't say enough about the Lions and their run attack that has been reinvigorated by the return of Steph Logan, averaging 164 yards on the ground the last 3 games when Logan came in. Before that, just 74 yards on the ground over the previous 10 games.
Yeah, I mean, their running game for much of the regular season had been a huge question mark for these BC Lions. And you heard Milton Stiegel talk about it. One of the keys to this working is Andrew Harris's acceptance of it. And as you've seen, he's been the beneficiary in a big way of having Stephen Logan back.
Roughriders have been able to answer, respond, and will it be Corey Sheets behind cover there? Sheets goes for a couple more yards, but Corey Sheets, the most impactful Rough Rider all season to their team. When Corey Sheets didn't play, the Riders didn't win. They were 11-3 when he was in the lineup, and he made a big impact on a great run after a pass by Darian Durant in the first half.
Well, he sure did. If the run's not going to work, look for George Cortez, the offensive coordinator, find different ways to get the ball in the hands of number 1.
George Cortez, the offensive coordinator for the Rough Riders. Got into it with this guy a few weeks ago on the sideline. A bit of a blow-up. Kissed and made up, said that things are okay. This is only the second 2 and out by either team in the ballgame.
Yeah, an unbelievable stat. As we talked about coming back from the half, very well executed game plans for these two teams. You usually picture kind of a grinded out, slow, sloppy offensive ball game in bad weather conditions. These two teams have put that all aside.
High kick to Logan. Head down, but Steph Logan has been a big factor. Logan's run in the first half. 2 of them. And a big one in the third quarter has propelled the Lions to an 8-point advantage.
That dog is mine.
Little quiet right now. They'll amp it up. Decibels. Always a factor in the playoffs here at Lausanne. Passionate fans. Think about home that their hometown team can win here, win next week, and play in a Grey Cup that Regina will host in 2 weeks. Right now, the BC Lions, huge obstacle in their way. Sean Moore has about 7 there on a catch and run. Ricky Foley makes the tackle on the far side.
Well, one of the keys for the BC Lions today has been their rushing attack. During 3 regular season games against Saskatchewan, Andrew Harris had a total of 66 rushing yards. He's got 75 today. Steph Logan has chipped in with another 43 and a pair of touchdowns. BC Lions, a little tweak to their offensive scheme. Found some success on the ground here today.
Again, having that varied attack. Riders don't know what's coming at them. Harris carries the mail again and goes forward for the first down. For all the talk of the struggles of Andrew Harris during the regular season on the ground, shades of 2 years ago when Andrew Harris played so well in the postseason for the BC Lions en route to a Grey Cup.
Yeah, picking it up in crunch time. It's precisely what Harris has done. A couple strong games to finish the regular season left him just a couple yards short of 1,000 yards, 198 carries, 998 yards. The Winnipeg native.
Andrew Harris, who got to the CFL thanks to a great junior career. Lou, quick hitter to Nick Moore. Another first down for the Lions in this great dividends so far.
And there's not a ton of surprise to what the BC Lions are doing in having Travis Lulay back in the lineup. And no doubt the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Richie Hall, their defensive coordinator and his troops all knew BC Lions become a better and more versatile offensive team with Travis Lulay under center.
Whitmore, 1,000-yard receiver, the only one for the Lions this season. Again, another target fire to Gore. Gets a couple blocks and spins. And there's a penalty flag back at the 25-yard line. Like Paris Jackson may have helped out on that play by the BC Lions. Dwight Anderson called for it, played referee right away.
Holding. BC number 19. 10-yard penalty. No first down.
Yeah, the hand around the neck while standing behind him is a dead giveaway every time.
Yeah. There is Dwight Anderson, 4 years in a row, ranked as the #1 trash talker in the Canadian Football League, but he backs it up. Huge season again. First with Saskatchewan. 5 interceptions. Lulay's got time now. Pocket closed and brought down by Ricky Foley. Last year's most outstanding Canadian for the Toronto Argonauts in the 100th Grey Cup.
Ricky Foley's calling card throughout his career has been the great motor, a guy who never quits. Great backside pursuit player, and as Lulay looks to scramble away from him, there's Ricky Foley tracking him down to prevent a big gain.
The guy who began his career with the BC Lions. Most outstanding Canadian with the Lions. Been up with the Argonauts. And a member of the Roughriders. His first season here. Four-man rush. Lulay now goes deep again, looking for Arsenault, and his hands on it, but Dwight Anderson, you know one thing, he's talking now. The MVP of the Riders' most vocal player.
Travis Lulay. He's putting his faith in Manny Arsenault, hoping his big play receiver can make a big play, because Dwight Anderson is right there. The coverage absolutely perfect, but nonetheless, you saw from the end of that play, Arsenault had a shot at it.
This is the first punt since the first quarter for the BC Lions. Paul McCallum. Bit of an angle here. The upfield is John Sanders up to the 29-yard line. Corey Sheets. An outstanding season. This is when he starts to heat up in the second half of ball games. We'll see if that trend continues. Busy season in the backfield. Our Sack Attack final numbers brought to you by Purelator, tackling hunger across Canada. Check. You see the numbers for Saskatchewan and BC. Calgary had the most sacks during the regular season.
And the BC Lions, 3 here today to the Saskatchewan Roughriders 1.
Darian Durant fumbled the football. Again, it has been a clean game so far. No turnovers. Could be a crippler in the second half here. Under 5 to go, third quarter.
Jock Sanders was in the backfield as the running back. It looked like the Riders had something on, trying to get him out. I don't know if there's supposed to be a run fake there or even a handoff that Darian Durant was looking for. He lost the handle on that football.
Loss of 6, second and 16. Lions rush 3. Durant. Loads of time here. Darian Durant fires over the middle, and Thomas Smith hauls it in at the first down marker. Thomas Smith has been the big play guy for the Riders so far.
Come up with some clutch catches. In this ball game, the team's 3rd leading receiver during the regular season, just behind Chris Getzlaff and Weston Dressler. 3,000-yard receivers for this team for the first time in 20 years.
6 for Smith. A wobbler out to Taj Smith again.
Well, we've seen them a number of times during the regular season hit Taj Smith on those crossing routes where he's trying to lose the corner in man-to-man coverage as he comes through some traffic underneath. That time Dante Marsh stayed with him. The Lions had it well covered. That's essentially just a throwaway by Darian Durant, recognizing that there was no positive play to be had.
3 receivers over 1,000 yards. Again, one of those receivers not in the game today. Riders missing Chris Getzlaff. Those 3 receivers finished in the top 7 in the CFL. Here's the rush now. And firing out is Eron Riley, and this will depend on the spot. It looks like a favorable one. And Saskatchewan looked like they got 15 on the play, are going to be about a yard shy. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Eron Riley, the number 3 receiver, out to that wide side of the field. Quick hook. Ball thrown on time. Just 5 catches during the regular season for Riley. No hesitation from Darian Durant today to go to the Duke product.
Could be critical 3rd down here for the Roughriders.
It's going to be 3rd
and a yard. Andre Prue, our referee, signals that. And they're going to bring out some of the artillery here.
Corey Sheets, who hadn't been in for the first few plays of this drive, will be back in the backfield for this one.
So 3rd down and a yard. And Durant stays in shotgun here with Sheets behind him. Pistol formation. 3rd down. Sheets is stopped. Now let's see where the spot is. It looks like the BC Lions may have just stopped the Saskatchewan Roughriders in their tracks. And you can tell by the reaction from the crowd. No reaction. This could be, it is, the first turnover of the ball game. A turnover on downs by the Roughriders. Corey Sheets stopped at the line. The Riders' drive stops here. Corey Chamberlain has seen his Roughriders turn over the ball on downs. Yesterday we talked to Mike Benavides. We asked about the collision between Corey Sheets and Adam Bighill. He said it will be a colossal collision.
Yeah,
here's one.
We've seen them meet a couple times, but here's a pretty significant one. Adam Bighill shoots the gap, takes the legs out on Corey Sheets, knocks him off balance, allowing Corey Banks to come and clean up. Adam Bighill, for the 2nd consecutive season, he's shut out of the finals in the awards voting, but taking nothing away from the guys who are there.
Love y'all back home. Thanks for support. Victory now.
Outstanding defensive players in the Canadian Football League.
Perennial all-star Adam Bighill. Huge play. First turnover of the ball game. Under 3 to go, 3rd quarter. 8-point game and another big collision. Weldon Brown levels Steph Logan.
You can use this as in an instructional video. Fantastic tackle by Weldon Brown. Goes to the outside, gets his leverage, explodes forward, wrap up the legs and drive. Terrific defensive play by Brown, the former Edmonton Eskimo.
Loss of 1. Quick huddle for the Lions. They come right back out. 5 receivers set. Harris in the backfield again. Delayed drop. He's showing and trying to chase down Harris, who is pummeled by Brackenridge out of bounds. Quick to get up. Short of the 1st down. Guy who loves to hit, Dwayne Ford.
Hey, if you like football, you can't help but like Tyrone Brackenridge.
He had a big smile. You asked him yesterday about hitting, and the fact that he He likes that free safety role. Maybe get some guys in his crosshairs. He had that big smile on his face.
Yeah, he sure did. He relishes the chance to lower the boom.
Back-to-back punts now for the Lions. Heading into a field possession game now. Here in the second half. High drifting kick, and it will bound into the end zone. Jock Sanders is going to give up one. And it will be a 9-point game. Here in Regina, the Western semifinal, a minute to go, third quarter. Can't miss episodes of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., The Goldbergs, Trophy Wife, and Person of Interest. All new Tuesdays, starting at 8, 7 Central on CTV.
Let's go, right ace,
Saw some fireworks offensively in that first half. Defense is settling in here now in this third quarter. Darian Durant. Roughriders able to give up only 1 point off that turnover. Weston Dressler scored the Riders touchdown. Outside, first down. Smallest guy on the field, receiver-wise, biggest heart, surest hands.
Yeah, a little question. Weston Dressler does a nice job making the move to get to the outside on Cord Parks. Looked like he had a shot at him close to the line of scrimmage. But Dressler turns it into a first down for the Riders.
A guy who was picked up out of the university ranks in North Dakota in Grand Forks a few years ago. Now Sheets reverses field and is going nowhere. Jermaine Reed, one of the backup D linemen in on this sequence, makes the stop.
Well, this is the BC Lions game plan. This is what their focus has been in terms of trying to contain Corey Sheets. You understand that Corey Sheets is a dominant running back. He's a guy who can absolutely turn games around. But the feeling of defensive coordinator Rich Stubler that they have to keep him inside. You can't let him bounce it to the outside. He gets a chance to turn it on. If they can keep it from being any of those big 10-plus yard runs, they can limit the damage of Sheets overall through the game.
Deep drop for Durant. Now he takes off with it, and Darian Durant goes forward. Huge run by the Rough Rider quarterback. Sprints straight ahead down to the BC 45-yard line. 15-yard gain on the final play of the third quarter. The Western semifinals. The BC Lions own a 25-16 lead. The Saskatchewan Roughriders down by 9, 1-6 in 2013, trailing after 3 quarters. Those numbers you see under rushing, 172 to 53. You might have thought that would have been reversed for the Roughriders today.
Yeah, for sure. When you look at the way the regular season had gone, Andrew Harris and the BC running game had been held in check by the Saskatchewan defense. Corey Sheets averaged 114 yards per game in his 2 appearances against BC this year. Credit the BC defense for what they've done against Sheets, and obviously their offense and that offensive game plan for what they've been able to do in moving the football.
Darian Durant told us at the beginning of the year, Mission 2K13 started early. In the offseason, he poured over videotape, not of himself, but of Anthony Calvillo, all 18 games last year, and the way that the mastered games, and he learned a lot from that. And wanted to learn how Anthony Calvillo was able to become a champion and a winner. Durant going deep. End zone down. Oh, unbelievably, G-Roy Simon couldn't make that grab. Only the second time he's looked to number 81, the former Lion, in this game.
Well, there was a window where he had him, G-Roy Simon, number 2 receiver coming out of the slot. Gets a nice release on the inside, straight down that seam on Josh Bell. Held up for a second, waiting for that football. Just unable to pull it in with the leap at the last second.
Durant, of course, the Roughriders losing in 2009 in the Grey Cup, 2010. Bitter taste on his tongue from last year. They lost in Calgary in this game, the West semifinal. Now Darian Durant again, all by himself, up Main Street. Durant inside the 15, down to the 10-yard line. So just when we thought that Corey Sheets would be the weapon on the ground, It's Darian Durant himself.
Well, we talked about it with Travis Lule earlier. Same goes for Darian Durant. This time of year, you do whatever it takes to buy yourself another week. And Darian Durant, on this drive, a couple of huge runs, putting this team on his back, making plays here, moving the Saskatchewan Roughriders within scoring position.
Darian Durant, 3 carries, 55 yards, the last 35 yards. Now, Corey Sheets on down for the loss. I don't think Darian Durant learned some of that running from any of the AC highlight video, but it was very interesting when he told us that at the beginning of the year, and how this is all a commitment to Darian Durant to increase not only his individual numbers, but more so the team mission of winning the Grey Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Anthony Calvillo, 2009-2010, sports a couple of Grey Cup rings that Darian Durant desperately wanted and was very close to having.
Yesterday, Durant also said patience. Patience is going to be virtuous today. To the end zone. For the Riders.
Yeah, and the angle he takes to get there is a little bit different, but ultimately going to the corner, just a quick stem to the inside. Defender's got to honor that inside fake. Weston Dressler gets there with separation. Darian Durant puts it on the money.
On the money. Right back in this. Now a 2-point game. Dressler scores again for the Roughriders. Loads of time left in the Western semifinal. Weston Dressler put up monster numbers last year. A little bit down production-wise, no matter. This is where Weston Dressler shines. Big games.
Yeah, big games, big players. Weston Dressler, certainly that for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Another 1,000-yard season on his resume. A more balanced offense means 3,000-yard receivers as opposed to him being the lone guy.
14 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Winning to take on the Calgary Stampeders. A week from today. They wait in the wings. Steph Logan. Brought down the far side by Craig Butler. Both quarterbacks have shown great poise and patience here today, taking what the defense gives them.
These are both guys who have had playoff success. Both have been to Grey Cups. They understand what's on the line. They understand what it takes to get to the big game. Terrific job both leading their teams.
Guys who aren't dressed for the Riders inciting the crowd here. They don't need any inciting right now. They are into this. Steph Logan widens the crowd for just a moment. 8-yard pickup.
Platoon continues. Harris back in the ballgame. Now we've seen a couple long drives in this football game from the BC Lions. 8-minute, 40-second scoring drive in the first half. 5-minute drive to start the second half. Now's the time when they need that ball control offense at its best.
Second down and 2. The handoff to Andrew Harris. And another first down. Former Vancouver Island Raider, Andrew Harris, former junior star. Another big carry.
Right tackle, Javon Olafioye. He's going to kick out Alex Hall. Lead block by Sean Gore coming in on the linebacker, Craig Butler. Breaks that run lane. Harris first down.
Harris won 3 junior championships in Vancouver Island. Far side with Manny Arsenault making the catch. Harris comes back on the field now. Talked about the junior star, Andrew Harris, and what he did playing in Vancouver Island. Yesterday, the Vancouver Island Raiders, his old team, played here trying to get another Canadian Bowl in this field, but they lost to the Regina Thunder, who are now Canada's junior
Let's
team.
go! A pretty good turnout. Junior football, hugely popular, well supported here in the province of Saskatchewan.
They pump it up again here. 2nd and 5. Here comes the rush. Lula. Again over the top. Oh my goodness. What a hit. Manny Arsenault decked. Absolutely crushed by Dwight Anderson.
Well, that'll give him something to talk about. Manny Arsenault starts at the top of your screen, coming across underneath. Dwight Anderson recognizes, comes off his man, and boom.
That was as punishing a hit as you will ever see.
It was great recognition by Anderson because he took a peek. They're trying to clear him out. He saw that route coming and came off his man to put himself in position to make that big hit.
This Lions offense now sputtering. 3rd straight punt now after so many successful turns and putting points on the board. They have also not scored any points against the wind in this game. It is playoff football at its best. Canadian football at its best in November. Hard-hitting, fast-driving. Best of all, some ground here in Regina. Earlier today, the Hamilton Tiger Cats knocked off the Montreal Alouettes in overtime to advance to the East Final. They'll play in Toronto next week. Calgary awaits the winner of this one. TBA. And here's first touch of the game. Speaking of local products, guys who have played here so many years. Veteran Neil Hughes, big play. Let's go down to Farhan.
Guys, Corey Sheets is staying in this game because of that touchdown. You know, I spoke to Mike Benavides before the game, and he said Corey Sheets gets so much of his yardage in the second half. It's really important that they play from ahead so that he can't dictate terms. And they were 8 points up going, or 9 points up going into that last drive. Now you're going to see more of Corey Sheets because it's still a one-score game.
More of Corey Sheets means more of this. The guy's got a few nicknames. Rocket, number 1. You got to call him 4th quarter Sheets. He picks it up when that game clock counts down.
Well, a guy who thrives on a heavy workload. We've seen a number of times this season Corey Sheets with 25+ carries, and as the defense is getting tired, he seems to be getting stronger as the game goes on.
45 rush yards, well below what we think from Corey Sheets. But always capable to bust a big one, the former Purdue Boilermaker.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders looking like they've gone a little bit more into that eat up the clock, feed the beast Corey Sheets mode here midway through the 4th quarter.
This game's starting to resemble the West semifinal from 3 years ago when these two teams last met. There goes Sheets on the delay. Corey Sheets spinning. You know, Michael Jordan used to have this thing when the tongue came out, you had to watch out. When Corey Sheets starts spinning like that, watch out.
Yeah, you can tell Corey Sheets is feeling it right now. He's lined up right behind that goalpost in the backfield with Durant. Bounce it to the left side. Eric Taylor had a shot at him at the line of scrimmage. Unable to wrap up the slippery back.
On the sideline now. John Sanders in for him. He gets it this time. Squirms out near the 47-yard line. The time of possession is starting to change a little bit now, favoring Saskatchewan. BC's defense on the field a lot more. You
get the sense that the Roughriders, the offensive linemen, I've heard it many times myself in the huddle. They're running the ball well. You know they're going back to the huddle themselves, telling Darian Durant, telling the coaches on the sideline, keep running the ball.
And the Lion goes down with injury. Free safety, J.R. LaRose. Just went down quickly, and so the Riders who were lining up to scrimmage will now take a break. So will we. We'll step aside. 6:58 to go in the fourth. There's Keenan Parker, the son of James Quick Parker, into the ball game for the BC Lions with J.R. LaRose out.
We'll take a quick look back. There's Adam Bighill, number 44. He's watching Corey Sheets. Remember, the Lions talk about wanting to contain Sheets. So you watch Bighill's reaction. He jumps outside. He doesn't want Sheets to bounce it. That sets up the block perfectly for Brendan Labatt to get out inside and roll him and create a lane for Sheets to turn up.
Impressive drive for the Riders here. Dressler shoots one way, goes the other. Will move the sticks again inside the 40-yard line. Scores twice here in this game from Weston Dressler.
The Roughriders have found life. Their go-to guys, Darian Durant, came up with some big runs to keep a drive alive. Set up a score. Weston Dressler, a couple touchdowns, made a couple catches along the way. Of course, Corey Sheets on this possession seems to have found his groove in terms of the run game.
Back in, there he is. Trying to get it outside, but met quickly by a couple of white and orange jerseys, including former Saskatchewan Roughrider Anton McKenzie. Again, McKenzie into this ball game today as a starter because Solomon Elimimian is back in BC with an injury. McKenzie was a member of the Roughriders Grey Cup winner back in '07.
Another one of those guys, good veteran guy. Didn't play as many snaps this year as Bighill and Elimimian, both available for the full season. McKenzie, a solid guy to plug into that lineup. You don't lose a lot with him in there.
Almost a 5-minute drive here. 8th play coming. Durant looks, steps up, sideline. Rob Bag almost was able to lay out and make a great catch, but did not. Ward Parks, all-star corner, takes that away. So now, remember we talked about the wind earlier. It's not as bad as early in the ball game as we take a look at this incomplete pass in the coverage. But Chris Milo is coming out now. And keep in mind, Saskatchewan does have the wind. That flag is not blowing nearly like it was earlier.
No, certainly not as strong as it was throughout the first half of this ball game.
Chris Milo, 3 of 4 in the game, hit an upright in his first attempt earlier. This is from the 45. His longest of the season was from 50, so well within his range. Milo, kick is up, and it's curling, and it's in. Big field goal. Milo puts it through. Just barely made it over the goalpost and through the uprights. Look at this. Chris Milo, who has been mentored by former All-Star Don Sweet.
Welcome to the club.
Has helped a lot of kickers. Milo's had an outstanding season. And the Riders have the lead.
Time for this place to be as loud as it has been at any point all day.
The only lead Saskatchewan had was early in the ballgame, 3-0. They have it now. Deafening here. Under 5 to go. Lule, communication problem, but he makes it work, and Lule decides to keep going, and Travis Lule, who could have done the hook slide probably 10 yards earlier, got more yards after all of that.
Pure improvisation. They may have to put this one in the playbook for next week. Travis Lulay goes one way. His running back goes the other. Stephen Logan's on his left. Lulay wanted him on the right, but Lulay knows where the play's supposed to go, so he just takes it himself.
First and 10 from the 52. 1-point ball game. Crashing into the crowd. Steph Logan. If you're just joining us, Riders had an early lead, then Lulay and the Lions scored twice in that first half on Steph Logan. Touchdown runs. All the count. Back in a familiar place. Remember, the Lions are against the wind here in the fourth. 6 yards for a first down. And Andrew Harris can't bring it in on a bad toss from Lulay. Had him wide open, and that would have been a big game.
The Roughriders got to Lulay just as he went to release this football. Lulay knows he's got Harris in the flat. Looked like he just got clipped from the backside. Attempting his release on the ball.
Fourth straight punt now by the Lions. Stalled offensively. And again, unable to score against the wind. They trailed by one. The Western semifinal, the 3-minute warning given to both sidelines. Well, just as they were 3 years ago in the West semifinals, Saskatchewan and BC. Close encounters. Riders clawing back, 1-point game. They have the football with 2:43 to go. The trip to Calgary beckons for the winner, and Corey Sheets spied perfectly by Corey Banks.
Yeah, Corey Banks was coming hard off the edge. He knew what was coming. He was all in on that one. The Lions desperately need a stop. Corey Banks coming off that right edge of the line. And he's going inside all the way. He's not worried about Darian Durant on the bootleg. He's pretty confident where the ball's going at this stage in the game.
Here's one of the biggest second downs of the game offensively for the Roughriders.
The Lions haven't had a stop here in the fourth quarter.
2nd and 10. And Darian Durant calls his own. No, first down and more. Look at him go. Darian Durant. Huge play. 28-yard scamper.
You had to be thinking screen draw in the situation, but the Riders pulled it off anyway. That's all Darian Durant. 4 carries, and he's made the most of them. 83 yards on the ground for number 4.
This is a guy who's had a walking ankle most of the season. No signs of it there. It's winning time. 2 minutes to go. Lions can only hope for a stop here in the next few downs. And it looked like a horse collar tackle. It is. Penalty flag. Chris Wilson almost took off Corey Sheets' head.
Major foul. Unnecessary roughness. Head tackle. BC 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That is a huge penalty and a costly one.
Coach Wilson had a hold of the bottom of that helmet right around the jaw pad. Easy call for the officials.
And a team that had the fewest penalties in the CFL. Here's the rub now, Dwayne. Even if the Lions stop them here, they're in Chris Milo range. The Riders, even if they get a field goal, would force the Lions to get a touchdown to win. Keep it on the ground. Sheets again. So now another critical second down upcoming.
There's no reason to do anything but keep it on the ground, whether it's Sheets or Durant. Based on what the Roughriders have been able to do in the fourth quarter of this football game, no reason to take the risk of putting the football in the air.
Again, Chris Milo just making that 45-yarder. We say just making it. And right now, if they stop them at the line of scrimmage, it's about another 45-yarder that would be upcoming. We'll see what happens on this play. 2nd and 8 for the Roughriders. Leroy Simon is in motion. And he's going to go up the middle again. Darian Durant has done it again.
Predictable.
The old quarterback sneak has worked to perfection.
It's a fairly safe bet. Again, when you look at the way the quarter has gone, they haven't been able to contain Durant on the run, haven't been able to shut down Sheets on the run. There is no reason for Saskatchewan to put the ball in the air, and the Lions should have anticipated that play call.
And now time is their enemy. 1:10 to go. And again, well within Chris Milo's range to make it a touchdown to score if the Lions get the ball back. Sheets up the middle. Clock stops at 56.
Timeout, BC.
What an effort by Darian Durant here in the fourth quarter. Thrown a couple of touchdown passes in this ball game. But it's the ball he's done with his legs that has become the story for this team. This is a guy who is committed to getting the win.
This is a guy who helped conjure up the phrase escapability in the pocket. This is no escapability. He's just going forward, taking off. The hole opens up, and Durant's taking advantage. What a night.
Well, running through tackles, dropping the shoulder on people, whatever it takes. That's playoff football.
This is a must-stop now for the Lions on 2nd and 8. Durant throws to Bag. They stop him here. 5 seconds eaten up on the clock. So Chris Milo will now come out. And a must-make for Milo in so many ways. There is plenty of time left on this clock. He makes this field goal. 4-point game. Forces the Lions to get to the end zone to win. Our star from Laval, outstanding season, 89%. Kick is up and it is good. The ticket to Calgary. Travis Lulay has other ideas. The Lions have to score a touchdown to win. Stops at 19.
Unable to get to the sidelines. They had a couple routes closer to the sideline, but they were covered up, forcing Lulay to go to Harris in the middle of the field. They got the play in quick. You're ready to snap it when that clock gets moving.
Rider fans bring the thunder again.
Whole stadium on its feet.
have to stretch this out. They have to get to the end zone. This is it.
BC Lions team that hasn't been able to score against the wind in this entire ball game needs it all on one play here.
Could be the final play of the Western semifinal. Quick hitter. Arsenal has to lateral it. He does. Marco Iannuzzi now. He'll have to pitch it too. He does. Andrew Harris throws it back. That's it. It is over. The mission continues. The Grey Cup dream is still alive in Saskatchewan. What a finish. What a game. A crowd here in Regina that is in party mode. In fact, an entire province celebrating tonight. Rider Nation celebration will continue for at least one more week. The Riders are up to Calgary for the Western Final. The final